This next section will talk about how to pick that threshold split, age equals 38 or income equals 60,000 for continuous valued features. We're going to make this an optional section. It's not super complicated, but it's a little bit laborious. So if you're interested, definitely take a deep dive, but for those who want to skip it, it's totally okay. So the goal here is to ask, if I decide to split on, say, income, how do I choose the splitting point T star that we want to separate? In our case, was 60,000, but we want to split the left and right side of the tree. Now, there's infinite many values that T star could take. You know, it could be 60,000, 59,999 with 99 cents, and if this is truly continuous, it could go to infinitely many decimal places. The question is, do we need to consider all of those? And do all of those decimal places really affect the quality of our decision tree? Now, if you think about it, and if you look at the values that income can take on the data, so the actual observed values of income, you'll see that if you take 2 points, say VA and VB, let's say 60,000 and 65,000, if there are no points in between, whether the split is at 61,000, 62,000, 63,000, 64,000, you're still going to have the same classification error. The points on the left of that split are always going to be the same. The points on the right of the split are going to be the same. So all I have to do is consider the middle point between any of the data points that we have and just consider those to be the possible splits for my data. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's now close this section by walking through the algorithm for picking the best splitting point for a particular feature. So let's say that I'm considering splitting on the feature here HJ, which might be, in our case, income. And what I can do is go through all my data, so that column of values of the income might take, and sort them such that, you know, V1 is the lowest income, V2 is the next lowest, and Vn is the highest income. And all I need to consider is the splitting points right in between V1 and V2, V2 and V3, and so on. So I walk from I equals 1 through n minus 1, and I consider a splitting point Ti, which is the midpoint between Vi and Vi plus 1, and I ask, what is the classification error if I were to build a decision tree, a decision stump in this case, that splits Xj on Ti greater than Ti and less than Ti, so 60,000, greater than 60,000 and lower than 60,000. And then we pick T star to be the split that leads to a decision stump with the lowest classification error. And that's it. Pretty simple algorithm, pretty easy to take from here.